Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Vinyltreasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live on this December 24th, 2025 special edition of the Vinyltreasure Show. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there. I was kind of debating if I was going to do this show or not, because listeners were emailing me if I was going to do the show tonight. And we don't do the big things that we used to do for Christmas Eve anymore, the 7 fishes and whatnot. So it's kind of waned over the years, but they used to be really great back in the day, and great memories of that, I will tell you. But I decided to do the show, and I decided to move it up earlier. I actually asked Oldies and More Radio, because they were ceasing programming today, I think at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they said, well, Johnny, your show is unique. I'm the only show that plays real records and broadcasts simultaneously on YouTube. So they said, Johnny G, yeah, hook into the live stream. So we want to thank Oldies and More Radio for allowing Johnny G to broadcast on this day. And I'm glad to have my listeners here. I know some of you are out and about and doing things with family members, or maybe you're out eating, dining, whatever. I know I got a whole bunch of emails this week from listeners I never knew were listening to me. So I want to thank everybody for that. I do. And this is always a great time of the year. And I'm telling you, this was a monumental chore. I didn't think it would be, but I asked for requests or suggestions. We wouldn't call them requests. So many of you sent me suggestions, and those of you that only sent me one, I want to make sure that I play your records, because I only received one from a number of people that sent me emails and IMs and phone calls and everything else. But it's going to be a combined show. It's going to include 1950s and 1960s records, and I think altogether, there's about 300. I have about 350. I think that's what it is. I didn't even put them all on the list, but they're all on the table here. And plus, here, the biggest letter. I have them alphabetically, and the biggest letter is B. I never knew that Charles Brown did so many Christmas songs through the years, mostly on King, but some early stuff too. But anyway, so I don't know how I'm going to do the show, because I probably can take live requests in the chat room. Someone's going to have to help me, though. Maybe Charlene will have to help me, or they'll have to, if she tells me in the chat who requested something. I have lists here, and what I did is here are your lists of requests, okay? These are your requests, okay? You'll see them. These are all the requests that I've received for Christmas records, and I had the majority of them. Some of them are rare, okay, that you guys and gals requested, but there's a lot of records here to play. So I'm not going to do that much talking, because on a lot of the things, Charlene was all kind of in a tizzy, because there were a lot of records, and I said, Charlene, just give me the year of release, and I'll kind of wing it a little bit on some of the things, but some of them I know, some of them I do not. You know, we opened up the show with tonight, okay, and it's amazing. Does anybody play steel guitar or have any recordings out there with a steel guitar? Of course, Santo and Johnny were famous with that. I played Sleepwalk not too long ago, but they did a Christmas record, came out in December of 1960, on the Canadian-American label, the two brothers from Brooklyn, New York, Santo and Johnny Farina. Of course, this Sleepwalk was their biggest hit, but they had 26 releases on Canadian-American between 1959 and 1967. This was their 6th release. I have some info on this one. This charted on Billboard number 49, number 39 on Cashbox. So we opened up with Twistin' Bells. Comes with a cool picture sleeve. I think this is even an LP. Okay, comes with a cool picture sleeve, you see. And there's an LP also to this. So we're going to really wing it tonight. So I don't know how I'm going to maneuver between the 1950s and 1960s, but I got lots and lots, some rarities, and some records probably you never heard of before. Do you know there was a record by something called a Santa Mouse? It's really not too bad, because I was thumbing through 45s down in the basement. I was actually looking for requests for James Stone that are down there, and I said, what are all these Christmas records doing in here? So I pulled them out, and plus all the other group stuff. So there were a lot of Christmas records, and I guess, you know, when the dealers offered them to me, remember, I'm filling labels and whatnot. But anyway, so I figured the best way to start it off here would be with the Ronettes, and only because I like this song a lot, and I remember listening to it on WABC when I was, when I was driving around in my aunt's car. We'd put WABC on, and they would play these Christmas records. And each year, I think it originally came out in '63, and there's a clip of them singing lip syncing "Be My Baby" on American Bandstand. And Dick Clark interviews them, and they said they just finished a Christmas album that was going to come out in the fall. And the bad thing about it, I think it was just right around when President Kennedy was assassinated. But every year that LP, songs on that LP would be played on the radio. You never could really buy the 45s, although there was an EP that came out. You can buy A Christmas Gift for You. I think that was in stores, and that's how you would get it. But they did issue an EP, and I do have the EP, and a bunch of you requested songs on that EP. But we're going to hear one of them now by the Ronettes. And this, and what did I say here? What do I have here? First issued on the LP, A Christmas Gift for You, that Phil Spector tracks on the Phyllis label. And it came out in... it says November 64. I don't know. I think it was 63. November 63. Who's calling me? Hold on a second, folks. Let's see what this is. Okay. Hello? What do you mean I'm late? I'm on. Hit refresh. Hit live. It's there. I've been on. Okay? Bye. My mother doesn't know how to work the tablet. She has to hit refresh. She doesn't. She's like, why am I not on? But anyway, so what did I want to say here about this record? But anyway, I like the record a lot, and I lost my place here. Okay, this is from the I have the EP. This is track 1. Okay, Ronnie Spector on lead. This is from November. Well, I should say this EP was released in November of '64. That's correct. These are the Ronettes. Let's open up the vocal portion here. The Ronettes on the Phyllis EP, and the song is called Sleigh Ride. Here we go, folks, as we open up the vocal portion here on a special edition of the Vinyltreasure Show. Here you go.
Just see those sleigh bells
Well, there you go. That's the sound. Wait, hold on a second, folks. Do not save this file. Hold on. Let me just take. Do not. Come on. Don't save. I got to get rid of that file here. But let me see. Let me tell you who. I had some people that voted for that record, or suggested that tune. It was. Let me see. Let me just. I'm gonna have to deal with my my PC here a little bit, folks, because I want to give you the information here for song number 5. Here we go. So that Ronettes record. Who sent me? Who voted for that record? Okay, Sleigh Ride. Okay, that's Joe Carrera, James Pomerico, and Ivar Shiva requested that song there. I thought many other people would request that tune, because that's a pretty cool record by the Ronettes. I remember hearing it quite often in the many years. And then I eventually bought I think the release on Apple, which I think was that true? I don't think it's really True Stereo. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I bought it at I bought it at an electronics store. I said, "What is this Phyllis Christmas album here?" And I bought the one with Phil Spector on the cover, and he's dressed up as Santa Claus and whatnot. But anyway, there you go. Great tune by the Ronettes. Sleigh Ride on the Phyllis EP. We're going to get to other songs on that EP, because many of you requested songs on that EP. But let's go to the OJs now. Now, this record, this record amazed me, this OJs tune, which originally came out, I can't see it on my sheet here. I used a paper clip. This record came out in December of 1969, but it was released for years and years into the 1970s, well into the 1970s, because I had it on like 4 different labels, I think. But it originally came out on the Neptune record label, and it's a great, great tune that they do. And again, these songs never get old, these Christmas records, because you can hear them over and over again. But let's give a listen to the OJs here on the Neptune record label. I think that's Kenny Gamble's Neptune label. It's called Christmas Just Ain't Christmas. Well, actually, it's a long title. It says Christmas Ain't Christmas. New Year's Ain't New Year's. Charlene doesn't have the full title here. New Year's Ain't New Year's without the one you love. This is a long title. I'm going to get the other copy that I have in the back here. But let's give it a spin here. It's a great tune by the OJs. Here you go.
Time. Now I stand all alone and my house is not a home without that girl of mine. Oh, Christmas just ain't Christmas without the one you love. And New Year's just ain't New Year's without the one you love. 12 o'clock and all is well, and I was doing oh so swell last year this time. Going shopping for presents together, making vows to leave each other never. It was a waste of time. Oh, Christmas just ain't Christmas without the one you love. Oh, New Year's just ain't New Year's without the one you love. Oh,
There you go. That's the sound of the OJs here on the special edition of the Vinyltreasure show. It's and again, this is one on TS. What is this? The Sound of Philadelphia. TSO. Yeah, the Sound of Philadelphia label. And this is from when? I can't even see here. This one was released. This is 1973. So there you go. The Neptune release in 69, 73. There's another one that I have, but it's called Christmas Ain't Christmas, New Year's Ain't New Year's Without the One You Love. And it's kind of interesting the way that they typeset it on the Neptune label. I'll show it to you again. They got like the Without the One You Love is like bolded for some reason. Don't ask me why. But anyway, there you go. Cool tune. Don't be bashful, those of you that are in the chat room there. If there is a song you'd like to hear, I mean, test Johnny G if I have it. Now, let me see who requested this OJ's record here, because a bunch of you, I think, gave me the OJ's release there. And let's see. The OJ's record was requested by Charles Ellis, Ed Brown, and Jimmo in North Wales. There you go. I got a record for Jimmo in North Wales. Hold on a second. Because he requested, and he didn't give me many requests, okay? But it's actually, I wasn't sure I had the record. It's on the Gold Band record label, and I found out I have 3 records by this group on Gold Band. I have it in alphabetical order. They're called... what is it? Count. It's by Count Sidney and his Dukes. And of course, Charlene didn't have enough time to do any research on that, but I have 3 releases by Count Sidney. Does anybody know anything about that? About that group? Chipmunks. And see, I even found this thing too. I was like, when I was looking for, what was I looking for? When I was looking for that record, so I had this down, and Charlene says, are you going to play this? Santa Claus by Jerry Clayton on the Big T label. So I says, all right, which is kind of like a surf record. If you, let me just get this, here we go. This is on Gold Band Records. Hold on a second. Here I got Roy C., A Merry Black Christmas, which we could play too, by the way. But this is like a different show for Johnny G. Okay, totally different show. I have some information, but not normally as much as I normally do. Let me just see what this Charlene put together. She spent a lot of time putting the records in order. Okay, for me. So, Castells, Crystals. Here you go. It's from 1967. Actually, she says here that written by the lead singer. His name is Sidney Simon, who was what is a Zydeco singer? Zydeco singer, accordionist, born in... Sam, you're going to have to help me with this, because this is you. LeBeau, Louisiana. So, Sam, you must have a lot. So Charlene, well, I couldn't. I would have gone to Sam's YouTube page to get information on this. But let me show you the record. I tell you, this is going to be like a different show today. Let me just show you the record, and we're going to put it on, because I am totally winging this, okay? Soul Christmas is the name of the tune. Count Sidney and his Dukes. Sam's got the lowdown on this. But this is going out to Jimmo in North Wales. Let's give it a spin. Count Sidney and his Dukes from 1967 on the Gold Band label. Make sure I got the vocal side. Yeah. Because the instrumental is on the flip side. This is called Soul Christmas. Here you go. Let's give it a spin here. Soul Christmas.
We're having a party, a Christmas tree. Oh, there is no Christmas like a soul Christmas. No, no. You know Santa Claus, yeah, yeah, yeah. Got to have soul, now, yeah, to travel around the world from the cold North Pole. There is no Christmas like a soul Christmas. No, no. We're having a party, yeah, a soul Christmas party. We got good music, baby, a soul poppin' music, yeah. There is no Christmas, baby, yeah, like a soul Christmas. Oh, no, no. Bells are ringing, we are shing-a-linging, soul dancing three around the Christmas tree. There is no Christmas like a soul Christmas. Oh, no, no.
There you go. There you go. That one there going out to Jimmo in North Wales. That's the sound of, I lost my mind here. Johnny G can't remember nothing. 1967 sound there. Count Sidney and his Dukes out of Louisiana. And a song entitled Soul Christmas. And the flip side is Soul Christmas. It's the instrumental of that tune there. So there you go. Maybe you never heard that tune before. But that's going out to listen. I got to really thank many of the UK listeners that have emailed Johnny G, really with your Christmas wishes. Really, many of the regulars that tune into the program and other people that are not regular that I've been hearing for the first time have are emailing me and telling me how they've been listening to the show or they just found out about the show. So really, I have to thank everybody again. If I have new listeners here, especially at this time, because I'm usually on at 9 o'clock, so I'm on a little bit early. I was delayed because my mother made me shrimp. It was a gift that was sent here to the house, and there were frozen shrimp. So she can't have it, unfortunately, but I could. So I split it with my father. We had shrimp with a sauce on pasta that was good, and she made. And I was late a little bit because we had a giant pumpkin, and she made 8 loaves of pumpkin bread, half of them with nuts and cruets, and half without, and she made 4 pumpkin pies today, which they're sitting down there. But anyway, I digress. But if you are new to this program, please consider subscribing to Johnny G's Vinyltreasure show, because we've picked up a lot of subscribers with the last Saturday show. This is my first show of the week. Again, this is kind of like a special show. It's a kind of a Christmas show because not all the listeners, many of them are going to tune in on the archive, and this YouTube archives this show. But it's important that you do, and it's important that you give Johnny G a thumbs up because it keeps the copyright police away. But some of my requesters or suggesters said they have to play certain records. Johnny G, you must play this record. So this is for Tommy Albergo. Merry Christmas, Tommy Albergo. And he enjoys both my soul show and also my 50s show. I think he particularly likes the 50s show better, but I got a lot of listeners that like both shows. And he likes this tune, which is a pretty cool record by this group. I had it here. What did I do with it? Yeah, this group from Philadelphia here. It's a great two-sided 45. Now, this group includes ex-members of Al Banks' Turbans. Well, I should say they previously recorded with the Turbans, and the others were members of a group called the Quadrelles that recorded for the Whirling Disc record label. The song is written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Oscar Williams. This is from November of 1957. This is going out to Tommy Albergo in our YouTube chat room. Here are the Cameos. Cameos on the Cameo record label, and it is what I want to wish everybody that's tuned into the program, my friends and family. I want to wish you Merry Christmas. Here you go, Tommy. The Cameos for you. Oh, there you go. What a great tune that is. 1957. That's the sound of the Cameos. You know, they even have an earlier release. They were, I guess, named after the Cameo record label out of Philadelphia. But that is a great tune from November 57. That is Oscar Williams. He's the lead singer. He wrote that tune. Merry Christmas is the name of the tune. And, of course, the flip side is actually a great New Year's Eve tune. It's called New Year's Eve. And I don't know. I will be here on New Year's Eve also. Probably not doing an all New Year's records, but if you do have New Year's Eve requests, you should send them to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. So if I have the 45, I'll play it. I ordered a box of records from someone in Indiana, and I paid him on the 10th. He mailed it, I think, the next day. It still hasn't arrived here yet. And it's funny because I had other parcels that came in that I ordered much later that came within like 4 days. So I don't know what's going on out in Indiana. Let me see. I still got Top Chat on here. I forgot. You have to put live chat. Those of you that are in the chat room there, I didn't see if Big Dave is in there. I may have missed him. And I'm missing a lot of people that are in the chat room there. So anyway, but... So let me see. Let me go pick a song here from the list here. Why don't we pick one of the favorite songs here? This will do. Okay. Hold on, folks. Let me get it. I'm going to surprise you with the song. So you gotta bear with Johnny G a little bit here. I'm telling you, I'll play instrumentals too, folks, by the way. But this is a song that got the most votes on, or most, I should say, recommendations. Okay, I want to thank Bill Olb for this. And if anybody knows Christmas music, it is Bill Olb. Did a fantastic job on the R&B Serenade last Sunday. And Bill is tuned into the program here. So let's play this record here. I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to tell you who voted for this one. Okay, this had eight recommendations, okay? 8 recommendations, okay? They were Busta Bass, okay? And these are pretty much my regulars. Busta Bass, Cool Ant, Grayland, Amnon, Charles Ellis, Oldies Fan, Joseph Smith, Ivar Chiva, And a new listener, I found out a new listener that is a younger listener, okay, that is a college student. He's a senior. His name is Sal Nuzzo. Thank you for that email, Sal. Very nice of you to, and he is a budding collector. But this was a song that they requested, and I'm sure many of you also like this tune. It's on Sid Nathan's King record label, and I mentioned earlier in the program that this artist had a lot of releases, okay? He's originally he was born in Texas City, Texas, okay? Began recording, back in 1950? No, actually it was before 1950, okay? Because we were talking about that Swing Time release in 1950, but he had earlier releases, okay? But this is his actually first of 18 releases on Sid Nathan's King record label, and he does a lot of Christmas songs, and he co-wrote this tune, and this was recorded by I was looking for my Unique's copy of this. I think that Charles Ellis, you mentioned that one, but this did chart on Billboard, number 76 on Billboard, 21 on the R&B chart, and this was a big number 2 record if you were listening to WSGN in Birmingham, Alabama. First released in October of 1960. Mr. Charles Brown on King. It's called Please Come Home for Christmas, for all those in the chat room. Here you go, folks. Charles Brown.
Bells will be ringing, the glad, glad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, I have no friend to wish me greeting once again. Wise will be singing Silent Night, Christmas carol by candlelight. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home for Christmas. If not for Christmas, by New Year's night. Friends and relations send salutations, sure as the stars shine above. This is Christmas, yes, Christmas, my dear, the time of year to be with the one you love. Then won't you tell me you'll never more roam? Christmas and New Year's will find you home. There'll be no more sorrow, no grief and pain, 'cause I'll be happy, happy once again. Ooh, no more sorrow, no grief and pain, 'cause I'll be happy Christmas once again.
There you go, the great sound of Charles Brown. Charles Brown there I can't, I mentioned all the requests. I don't need to say it again. I don't want to do that. But anyway, that was the top voted song here. I'm sure many of you also like that tune. And just a great record. And it was lucky. I was looking through I have to thank Bill Obe for a clean copy of that record. And So happy to feature it here on the program. And you know, many of you also requested the flip side of that record, which is not Charles Brown on the flip side. Okay, let me just see the names here because it's Amos Milburn on the flip side here. And this one had 4 recommendations, okay? And the 4 recommendations for the flip side here were Grayland, okay, who was in our chat room. Charles Ellis is in our chat room. The new listener, Sal Nuzo, and Ivar Shiva requested the flip side of it. So let's flip it over there for you guys and gals and give a listen to the flip side here. I apologize if I did not recognize everyone in the chat room. It's just it's getting too difficult to do that now. But anyway, as the show continues to grow, and this is a different time, I'm hoping to have maybe some of you are discovering the show for the first time, as this is kind of like a new thing. Well, not DJing is not a new thing. Playing records is not. But with the visual with it, there's other people that play records, but they don't like talk about them and give history and whatnot. This is kind of like I told YouTube it's an educational show. You know, I'm just not going to sit here and play records. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. And it's, you know, the interesting thing is, on a lot of the emails I get, they like Johnny G to babble about this. That's what they find different than the other shows. And plus, I play single artists. So, anyway, but let's flip this 45 over. I don't know why Sid Nathan... what do you think, Big Dave? Why Sid Nathan put Amos Milburn on the flip? Because maybe he wanted to get this record recognized? I don't know. But let's flip this 45 over here. Again, this is the flip side of Please Come Home for Christmas. This is Amos Milburn. He's he's from Houston, Texas, vocalist, pianist, tons of releases on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin Records, and started back in 1945. And this is let me see. He co-wrote this tune, Amos Milburn. This is his first of 5 from October 1960. As we are here on a special edition, a Christmas edition. Merry Christmas to everyone. It's Amos Milburn. Christmas, parentheses, comes but once a year. Here you go, Amos Milburn.
Christmas time comes but once a year. Ooh, I'm happy and the kids are happy too. It'll take the next 6 months to pay the bills. Every time I think about it, it gives me chills. But I don't care. Christmas comes but once a year. Getting ready to have myself a ball. Ooh, going dancing and partying at every call. Gonna finger pop till a New Year's Day, and I don't care what I have to pay. Let the good times roll. Christmas comes but once a year.
Geez, I left. Did you hear any echo on that? Because I left my mic on. I usually don't do that. Johnny G kind of losing his mind here on a Christmas Eve. But there you go. That's Amos Milburn. That was November 1960. That's the flip side of Please Come Home for Christmas, okay, by Charles Brown. And that tune there, what did I do with my Christmas Comes But Once a Year? I think that was the name of it. Johnny G losing his mind here. As Christmas parentheses comes once a year, a song he wrote along with Albert Schubert. There you go. Cool tune, nice clean copy of that record too. Johnny G here on a Wednesday special edition. We're on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. Thank you all for being here on this holiday. I mean, either, many of you maybe are home alone for Christmas. You don't have to be alone here on a Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is different, Christmas Day. I'll be going to see my sister Lori. What did she buy, Ma? She bought a filet mignon, I think. It was like $24 a pound or something. And she bought like 8 pounds, I think she bought. That's a lot. Also, and I think she's making a lasagna. Okay, my mother did the baking, and she is going to make something. Oh, she's making a sausage bread. My mother makes the greatest sausage bread. I had to go out yesterday and get like the high-rising dough, the dough that you can make bread with or pizza with. Well, they sell them like in loaves. So, I had to buy 3 packages of sweet sausage, and she kind of like cuts onions and she kind of spruces it up. And, my nephews go wild. Her grandchildren go wild for that. But anyway, I digress. Let us continue here. And let's go to an early side here. And this is actually an expensive record if you're looking to collect this record. Okay, the Moonglows, okay, on the Chance record label. It's not that easy to find. This was one of the records that I miss Spence Wooten, and he used to come here on like a little bit before Christmas, and he used to bring my mother fresh chocolates, like homemade chocolates, in some store. He lived in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, somewhere there. And he would come and he would give me presents of 78s that I rejected, maybe because of the price or because they might have been, I just didn't want them. But he brought me the records. He says, Johnny, this is for you for Christmas. I said, anything, if anything, I should be giving you the present. He goes, no, I want you to have these. And he was such a nice guy. I miss Spence a lot. And he was the one that got this record for me, because he would call me from Allentown, the Allentown Record Show, and he'd say, Johnny, I got some records for you. I think you need these. I'm going to bring them up tonight. I said, you're going to be here 2 a.m.? He says, yeah, I'll drive them over to you. So I said, okay. And he brought me this one, okay? And who voted for this one here? This tune, this tune was voted by George Chestnut, who was in our YouTube chat room, Tommy Albergo, who was tuned into the program, Joe Alvera, Oldies fan, also mentioned this tune, and so did Edmund Williams. And they requested this cool tune by the Moonglows here. And let me just see what little notes I have on here. These aren't like alpha. Yeah, here we go. As we head to Chicago, Illinois, to Art Sheridan's Chance record label. And for the Moonglows, this is their second of 5 on the Chance label. A great 2-sided Christmas tune. We're going to play the flip side too, because I think that was also requested by some people. But this is the jump side, written by group member Harvey Fuqua, and they give credit to disc jockey Alan Freed. Of course, Alan Freed was the Moonglows manager here. And it features Bobby Lester on lead. I have this on red vinyl, but I don't know if they're probably not all on red vinyl. The promos are probably on the red vinyl. December 1953. Here are the Moonglows on Chance. It's called Hey, Santa Claus. Here you go, the Moonglows.
You know I love her so. Hey, hey, Santa Claus, you know I love her so. When she come back, I'll never, never let her go. Santa Claus, you know I love her so. Now, baby, back to me. Hey, hey, Santa Claus, you know I love her so. Now, baby, back to me. Well, if she come back, I'll never, never let her go. Now, baby, back to me. Hey, hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus. Hey, Santa Claus.
Yeah, Sound of the Moonglows here on the Vinyltreasure show. And that one there, who do you say that one was for? That one there, the Moonglows, that was for George Chestnut, Tommy Albergo, Joe Alvera, and Joseph Smith, and Edmund Williams. Now, the flip side was also requested too, I think. And the Moonglows, let me see who requested the flip side here of this tune. Just a Lonely Christmas. It was, wow, this, yeah, Casey Hines. Okay, hold on a second, folks. Let me just go to the visual here. Casey Hines in Paris. Also, Joseph Smith. Wait, I got it right here. And Sal Nuzio requested the flip side here. In case he didn't give me many requests, so we're going to play this for him specially here. And this side features Harvey Fuqua on the lead, I'm pretty sure. This one here, the flip side of Hey Hey Santa Claus, the Moonglows here from December 53, Harvey Fuqua, and again, written by Harvey Fuqua and Alan Freed, okay. We'll say that. He probably gets credit for being their manager. I guess you can put him on there. And this one here from December 53 with Red Holloway and the orchestra. Yes, Big Dave. It's called Just a Lonely Christmas. Here you go. The Moonglows. Here we go, folks. Long entry here for this.
Just a lonely, lonely Christmas. What a glad one it would be if only my loved one would come back to me. Seems like she's been gone 1,000 years as the days and nights roll by. Oh yes, she's gone away. Oh, tell me
while sitting by my window, watching the snowdrops fall, just wishing that my baby would
There you go. Sounds of 1953 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And, you know, it's hard. Well, listen, it's hard for Johnny G to take requests here. I don't have every Christmas record here available. There's 300 of them. But I'm trying to decide what to play here. We're going to go to Otis Redding up next. But there you go. Those are the Moonglows here. Did I print out all the pages here? Looking for, I don't think I did. But those are the Moonglows there, December 1953 there. Harvey Fuqua on lead, Just a Lonely Christmas, the flip side of Hey Santa Claus on the Chance label. Early sides here on the Wednesday edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now let's just continue now, and let's, who requested this one? We got the Big O up next, and Otis Redding here, and this was, I remember hearing this on the radio back in November of 1968. And this song of, well, let's see. Okay, we're not going to say that, but let's give a listen to this to this Otis Redding tune. Let me see who requested this. I got to go. I'll go to the. I don't have it sorted right. I'm telling you, folks, it's a big spreadsheet here. Otis Redding, PQR. Okay. Actually, this was requested by Ed Brown. Wait a minute, I take it back. Busta Bass. Okay, we got the flip side too on this one. Busta Bass, Charles Ellis, Ed Brown, and Ivar Shiva requested this. 4 of you recommended this Otis Redding cool tune. It's called Merry Christmas Baby. Otis Redding, and I have this on multiple copies. This was released for multiple years. Okay, here we go. The Big O. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's the Big O here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's flip this 45 over too. Give a listen to the flip side too, because he does. I'm printing out my pages, folks. Also does. Boy, this is small print. This didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out, but anyway. Well, let's flip the 45 over here. Johnny G losing his mind. Okay, it's better. It's better than nothing, folks. Here, it's got like small print. Don't ask me why I didn't print this page out. This is like because I was looking for this Lisa Miller record. I was going to ask you Northern Soul people if this was a Northern Soul record, but we're going to get to it here. But let's flip over the Big O tune, "Merry Christmas, Baby." You got a great B-side here. Let's give a listen to his rendition of the tune "White Christmas." The great Otis Redding here on Atco Records and his rendition of "White Christmas" as we wish Merry Christmas to all the listeners here to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Here you go. It'd be nice, Johnny, if you put the needle on the record.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. You're just like the one that I used to know. Honey, it's where the treetops glisten. Little bitty children, they're trying to listen to hear for the sleigh bells that are ringing in the snow. I wanna tell you one more time what I'm thinking about. Dreaming of a white Christmas day with their free Christmas card that I write you. Oh, I want you to know Mayo Day is so merry, merry and bright. Darling, I wish all of them one more thing in me. All of your Christmases and me all and me all of your Christmases. May your days be merry, merry, so merry and bright. Lord have mercy, I wish all of them, honey, and may all your Christmases be so white. Of a white, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Dreaming of a white Christmas, baby, baby. Lord, I'm dreaming of a Christmas, yeah, lovely white Christmas, the one with the snow, the one with.
There you go. That's the Big O here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Otis Redding, his rendition of the tune "White Christmas." That one there mentioned by Ed Brown, by Charles Ellis, and Ivar Chiva. Get both sides of that 45 he did. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Wednesday, and I was looking for that. I can't find that little Lisa record. Where would I have put it? But we'll go to another record here. Let's go to this one. This is R. I got to go to my S. Look how many S records I have here. Boy, I have a lot. So here we go. These are my S records, okay? The Sabres, Jack Scott. We'll play this one. Mabel Scott. Tell me if there's one you want to hear before. This is the S. Mabel Scott, Neil Sedaka, the Shantons, the Shells. Got 2 copies of the Shells. The Shirelles, the Harry Simon Chorale. Did I say that right? Sir Jablonski. Okay. Let me know if you want one of these. Okay, the Skyliners, the Statues, Ray Stevens, the Stompers, the Supremes, and the Sweet Inspirations. Any favorites there? Any favorites we got? Who? Let's see who did the first there. Okay, Amy King wins it because that was an Amy King request. All right, we're going to play that. That's what I'll do here. I'll pick one and you pick the record, okay, folks? You pick the record here. So we're going to play this for Amy King, okay? She is Johnny G's chat moderator, so don't cross Amy King, okay? I gave her she's got all the power she does. Okay? So this is she requested this Mabel. Let me see if we got any info, Charlene, on Mabel Scott, because I have played her in the past before. Just want to see if I got anything. You know, we want to learn about these artists here. And I bought this is first time I heard this was I think it was on a where is my S? Oh, B. Here, it's on here. It's on RS. Mabel Scott, Chantones, here we go. For Amy King, and who else requested this? Let me see if anybody else did this. Also for, yes, Joseph Smith, oldies fan, mentioned this. Okay, this gal originally from Richmond, Virginia. She began recording back in 1932. Now, this song was a big number 12 record on the Billboard R&B chart back in December of 1948, okay, on the exclusive label. But Donald Pierce would re-release it on his Hollywood record label in November of 1954. A tune written by Leon Renee, and her name is Mabel Scott. This is by request for Amy King in our YouTube chat room, and also for Joseph Smith. Mabel Scott. It's called Boogie Woogie Santa Claus. Here you go, Joe and Amy, your record.
Track. He's got a rhythm in his feet, but nothing in his sack. He's a boogie woogie Santa Claus. The boogie woogie Santa Claus. The boogie woogie Santa comes to town every Christmas day. He lives up in the mountains like a hermit in a cave. He never had a haircut and he never took a shave. He's a boogie woogie Santa Claus. The boogie woogie Santa Claus. The boogie woogie Santa will boogie all your blues away. Rock, 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 Mr. Santa. Jump, 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 Mr. Santa. He's got no presents for your tree or candy for your socks, but when he starts to boogie, the whole town rocks. Rock, Mr. Santa. Mama, get your hat, put your best dress on. We're gonna really jump for joy on the Christmas morn.
There you go. That one there by request for listener Amy King in our YouTube chat. I got to go back and check. You guys on what songs you played. But there you go. That's Mabel Scott. What else do we have by? I got a couple of the notes here by her. This release was December 54. That record goes back to 1948 on the exclusive record label, but this one here on Hollywood Records, Boogie Woogie Santa Claus, and Mabel Scott would marry singer Charles Brown in 1949. There you go. That is a pair. What else do we got? What else do we got in the chat room here? As I think, Big Dave, you said the Jack Scott record. That was Jack Scott on Groove now. Let me get it. Oh, I forgot to. Hold on a second, folks. Johnny G all discombobulated here. Let me show you this this Otis Redding tune. Here you go. That is White Christmas, okay? And then this is a nice promo copy. I have a stock copy, and I think I got one from 72 and another one, whatever. We got so many records to play for you guys and gals. And Big Dave, which one? You didn't really say. But I got to say hello to my cousin Jay Manella. And Jay is in Tennessee. Jay, nice to hear from you. Wishing you Merry Christmas. Wishing all the listeners Merry Christmas here. And we are doing okay, I guess. Listen, I take every day as it comes here is how Johnny G does it. I think that's the best way to do it when you have elderly parents that you're dealing with. And my mother's good. My father is a different story, but sometimes it's difficult, like today. But it was okay. It really was. So everybody, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there. As Johnny G, let us continue here. Let's play Troubles Brewing. Is that okay? So here we go. Big Dave is one of my regular listeners here. I got a lot of regular listeners in here on the chat room here. And okay, we're gonna play this record for Big Dave. Actually, who requested this? I think you did, Oldies Fan. I think Oldies Fan did, and also John Cummins, who will be doing a spot on the R&B Serenade this coming Sunday. He's going to be playing Christmas tunes on the R&B Serenade. Bill Old did a wonderful job last Sunday, and John Cummins will be on the show this coming Sunday on WRHU 88.7 FM. You can check them out on WRHU.org. That's from 3 to 5, although I think it'll be an abbreviated show. There's supposed to be an Islanders hockey game on, I think, but John will be there, as he is every year. Bill Old has been doing 28 years on the R&B Serenade, almost 50 years playing this music. And it was interesting because many of you know Bill from my show as a guest spot, but you got to hear a young Bill O, his voice, okay? Because he did a commercial for Ronnie I, and it didn't sound like him. It sounded like this guy was talking really fast and whatnot. I had to text Frank, and I said, "Is that really Bill?" And it was. Bill told me that it was him. It was amazing. It was. Bill, we got to hear the whole show with you, is what we got to do. But anyway, let's give a listen to this tune by Jack Scott. This one requested by John Cummins, also Oldies Fan, and also Big Dave Swinger. Do I got any info on this? Of course, you know, he's from Canada, of course, and he had all those cool hits on the Carlton record label, and he ended up going to Groove Records. Groove was before Capitol? I don't know how it was in the scheme, but anyway, I don't think there's any write-up on this because I never played this song before, but it was in the collection. So let's give a listen to hold on. Let me go back. Let me just double check the sheet to make sure. Jack Scott. Actually, both sides of this were requested by John and Joseph Smith. But we're going to send this one out first to Big Dave. It's called There's Something Brewing. This is Jack Scott on the Groove label. Here you go. It would help, Johnny, if you lined it up here. This is really an ad hoc show, folks, for the Christmas show. Here you go, Jack Scott.
Was a night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. My baby came home. I asked her where she was. She grinned and said that she was out with old Santa Claus. Oh, there's trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah, well, there's trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah. The snow is white, so crisp and white. But there's trouble brewing tonight. 12:30, I'm a-feeling low. I'm a-waiting for this cat who set my baby's heart aglow. From what I hear, he's a-dressing red. He's a-coming down my chimney, that's what my baby said. Oh, there's a trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah, well, there's trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah. He don't know fear. He don't dig fear, but he has a Nixon and a fixin' les all disappear. I creep to my window, I'm there in the sky. I see this cat, he's a-flying by. He circled my path, I think he's a goof, 'cause with 8 reindeer he tried to land on my roof. Oh, there's trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah, well, there's trouble brewing now. Oh, yeah. The snow is white, so crisp and white, but there's trouble brewing tonight. There's trouble brewing tonight. There's trouble brewing tonight. There's trouble brewing tonight. There's trouble brewing.
There you go, the great sound of Jack Scott there. That one there on the Groove record label. Hold on a second, folks. Let me see if I'm looking to see if Charlene's got the date here of release. I think that was 63, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe December of 63. I'm looking here on the sheet here. It's not in any specific order. Mabel Scott. I don't see it. It's not listed. Jimmy Beaumont, the Chantons. I'm sorry, folks. I don't have. I think it was December 63. Somebody could correct me if yeah, it's not. She doesn't have it here. But anyway, yes, 60. Yeah, December 60. Let's say November 63 is the name of that. This Trouble Brewing is the name of the tune. As we continue here, somebody in the chat room I saw requested the Shirelles, so let's give a listen to the Shirelles. This is actually a B-side. I'm sure many of you. And I don't even know if you can. When did Mama Said come out? That was 19. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. This they use. There's two. This is not a Christmas song, but they've been using it as a Christmas song. I guess it's okay, because if you see just because it says holiday in the song, that doesn't mean it's a Christmas song. But some of you have thought of this as a Christmas song. Yes, I have. Actually, it was March of 61, Mama Said came out, according to Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file. Now, who requested this? Shirelles. A lot of people. Charles Ellis, Tommy Albergo, and Sal Nuzzo requested this too. But listen, it's a great record too. This is the B-side to Mama Said, issued in March of 61. Mama Said was a number 4 national hit for the group. And you can, let me see, but definitely Good to Hear for the holiday season. Okay, this features Doris Kenner on lead from March of '61. For the three, Tommy, for Charles, and for Sal, and whoever requested it in the chat room. Here are the Shirelles with, we'll call it a Christmas tune. It's called Blue Holiday. Here you go, the Shirelles.
It's been a blue holiday since you've been gone. Oh, my darling, won't you hurry
There you go. That's a great sound of the Shirelles here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And Reed King says that it does start, it can be a Christmas song. I have another one that I pulled out. If you ever, the cupcakes on the Diamond label, I think it's called Winter Blue. I mean, I guess, there are, it was funny. Somebody who requested a hazy shade of winter. I asked Bill Olb about that, and he said to me, Johnny, that record was played, I think it was in the fall or whatever, so I guess, but I don't consider that a Christmas song for some reason. But anyway, some people do. I guess they can. But there you go, the great sound of the Shirelles there. And that one there from March 61, it's the B-side to Mama Said, a song called Blue Holiday. Doris Kenner on lead, that is, and on Florence Greenberg's Scepter record label. Johnny G doing a special show. We've been here, I think it was a little bit later, 7:35 or something I came on. And Oldies and More Radio was nice enough to let Johnny G simultaneously broadcast on their network also, because they closed down at 5 with the automation. But I am live here, so I want to thank everybody. If you are new to this program, some of you are coming in at this time because you think Johnny G, I've been on since 7:30-ish, I guess. But if you are new to this program, I hope you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm happy to have you spend your Christmas Eve with these cool tunes here. Now, let us go to the W's here. I don't have many in W's. We'll go back to the S's here. But this is a request for, we're going to go to Touch of the 70s here. I think, Graylin, you requested this, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on a second. Let me see. There might have been a few of you that requested this Stevie Wonder record. Well, Charlene's got the, she literally has the release date that I'm playing it from, which is 1971. But it came out earlier than that. This was actually, I think it's off of an LP he did. A lot of the Motown acts did, a lot of the Motown acts, they had Christmas tunes, okay? And Stevie Wonder did also. He had an album called Someday at Christmas, okay? But again, the records would be released in subsequent years, and that's what happened. So these records, they always stick around. They always do, and we're not going to forget them here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. So my copy here, this just plays better than what my 1967 press of this, which when he released that Christmas LP. But who voted for this one here? This actually, Tony Crosby, who's in our YouTube chat room, and Graylin requested this tune. This is Stevie Wonder, and I'm playing it from the 1971 press, which is a promo, which I found in the wild for $0.25. I think this is the mono side here, but I like this record. I remember hearing it on the charts. This is Stevie Wonder. It's called What Christmas Means to Me. So this goes out to Graylin and Tony Crosby in our YouTube chat room. Here you go. Stevie Wonder. Yeah, that's a great sound there of Stevie Wonder, originally, I think from the December of 67, or whenever that, I think that was originally, but that's the 71 press that I have. Only because it sounds better. It's in better shape than the other one. The great Stevie Wonder there. And listen, my aunt had lots of Stevie Wonder 45s in her collection. She did. I showed you her picture. I've gotten so many nice emails about my Aunt Mary that I showed there. Jay, are you still tuned into the program, my cousin Jay? Because I'll show that picture again. Because Jay knew my Aunt Mary very well, also. Because Jay used to work down in the GM plant The GM plant here was in our local town, but then they closed it down. I think they all moved to Tennessee then after that. As all my uncles, or my great uncles, I should say, on my mother's side, they all worked in the General Motors plant, as well as their children. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. And it's kind of, I guess it's the same kind of thing, people in Pittsburgh, if you're working in the mines there, the children also get the jobs there. I think that's how it works. But anyway, let us continue here. Let's fill a request now for listener. I think I want to make sure there's nobody else that, because I spoke to one of my nice listeners to the show, Jack Saperstein. He called me, and he doesn't want to because I'm really busy. And he called me yesterday, and he wanted to wish me Merry Christmas, as many of you have done too. So I appreciate everybody with all your Christmas greetings. Really, I do. And receive so many from overseas also, and thank you for that. But actually, Tommy Albergo, you requested this too, and he gave me some requests. I say, Jack, you got to give me some requests. I'll play them for you on the Saturday show. And he's a big vocal group lover of the music. Also, he had a whole bunch of 78s that I have them now incorporated in my 78s, and he asked, and him and others have asked when I'll get back to the 1956 Relic Countdown. I want to try to do this starting in January sometime, because I should be a little bit more time on my hands to do that, so we'll get back to it. But you can find it out on my YouTube wall. YouTube page. There are the old shows there. There's like 900 almost there. And lots of people are going to these shows. Thank you. As long as the copyright police don't shut me down. And that's why subscribing to this show is important, because the more subscribers I have, the AI gets off my back. Artificial intelligence, they filter this show as I play it live. So they have rules for live shows when you play them. And I have a lot of hours get clocked, and the owners of the content like this show because they make lots of money on it. I don't, and that's fine. I want to keep the music alive. I enjoy listening to the records as I play them here for you, the listeners, but that's how it goes. But thank you, Jack, for your conversation and your phone call, and I want to wish you happy holidays, too. But he requested this tune. It's actually from 1973, but it sounds a lot older. The singer's name is, I had it right here. What did you do with it, Johnny? His name is Kenny Williams. And I don't know what it is. There's a group, I think, on this one. There's one without a group and one with a group. But this is on the Ben Moore label. And I saw this in the box. I said, this looks weird. But it's definitely not a 50s record, okay? It's from 73. It's Kenny Williams. It's called An Old-Fashioned Christmas. This is by request for Jack Saperstein and also for Tommy Albergo. Here you go. Ken Williams.
Like an old-fashioned Christmas, the night before it starts gay, some folks are celebrating while others decorating the ornaments on a tree. As the morning gets started for the greatest day of the year, the pretty snow is falling and people Christmas calling to wish everyone good cheer. Jingle bells, jing, jing, jing. People carry
makes this day a day of joy. Kids awake and see gifts around the Christmas tree. And sure enough, one breaks a toy. After dinner, there's more goodies on a table set by the wall. Together, cheerful faces set where the fireplace is, like an old-fashioned Christmas, an old-fashioned Christmas for all. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all. An old-fashioned Christmas for all.
There you go. That one, they I left my mic. I don't know if I left my mic on. Maybe I did not. But the Big Dave Swinger says that Kenny Williams was a member of the Superiors. So maybe that is somewhat of a revamped Superiors group backing him up on that. But they like that one there in the YouTube chat. And that was 1973. That's on the. Don't ask me where I got that. It was funny because Spence would say, Johnny G, someone wants to clean out their record cabinet. Do you want to buy these boxes of records? There's 300. I want $50 for the 300 records. So I would give them, $50 for 300. And they came in the white boxes too, by the way. But anyway, there you go. That is a great tune there. A lot of you like that record there. Kenny Williams from 1973. It's on the Ben Moore label. Old Fashioned Christmas is the name of the tune. Let us continue here. Let's go to the Bees here. I'm going to read you. I got a lot of records in the Bees too, but we're going to go up tempo here for Chuck Berry. And I think did Chuck Berry do a Christmas LP? I don't think he really did, but he has a cool record, okay, that charted for him. It was released in November of 1958. This is on the Chess label out of Chicago. Charted number 69 on Billboard, and this was a number 39 record on WJJD in Chicago. And this is Chuck Berry, and this is, I think it was Busta Bass that requested this, and also new listener Sal Nuzzo. So let's go to November of 58, Chuck Berry. It's called Run. Wait a minute. I thought he says Run, Run, Rudolph, but it's Run, Rudolph, Run. Chuck Berry. Here you go, folks.
You know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind. Run, run, Rudolph. Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa, make him hurry. Tell him he can take the freeway down.
Yeah, there you go. The great Chuck Berry here on a Wednesday evening. Run, Run, Rudolph is the name of the tune. And that one there for going out to Busta Bass and the new and Sal. There you go. Johnny G here on a Wednesday. Hope you're digging on the tunes. If you are, give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about this program. I'll be back on Saturday evening beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Have all your requests for the 50s and early 60s edition. If you do have a request, you can email Johnny G at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Amy will post that from time to time in the chat room here. And let us continue now, and let's go to December of 1966. Who requested this tune? This tune was requested by Charles Ellis, Ron Harry, and Ed Brown requested this great group out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Okay, they signed with Joe Evans' Carnival record label back in 1964, had 14 releases on the label, and this is their 9th release. This tune written by Edward Bivens, produced by Joe Evans. It features George Smith on lead. From December 66, here are the Manhattans with their holiday tune on the Carnival label. It's called It's That Time of Year, the Manhattans. Here you go.
Christmas bells are ringing out again. Happy children, little children are starry-eyed again. Mommy and Daddy are busy again. For it's that time of the year. Frosty windows with Christmas trees aglow. The thought of goodies keeps our hearts all aglow. The hour is nearing, the time is going slow. For it's that time of the year. Onward, Dancer, onward, Prancer, they are on their way, wrapping presents with a happy feeling, kneeling down to pray. The smell of palm trees is in the air. A harsh word spoken, baby. Don't you know it's very, very, very rare? Hurry up, Santa, for there's no time to spare. For it's that time of the year. Don't you know it's that time of
Yes, it's definitely that time of the year where Johnny G gets discombobulated. There you go, the great sound there of the Manhattans. I lost my place. The Manhattans, December 1966. That's on the Carnival record label. Song entitled "It's That Time of the Year." It's always great to find records like that for $1. When I used to, I went to this house in Mount Kisco, okay, and they were a couple. Okay, we won't go into it, but what they did is they would fix up old houses and they would sell them. So they just finished the basement, and I found this through Mike Layton, who told me about it. He says, Johnny, somebody up in Mount Kisco, they have a whole bunch of records that they want to sell. So I was like, I mean, how many records are we talking about? So it was thousands of records. So Mike introduced me to him. His name was Ed, and he would sit down. He had this big furnished basement, and he would do the New York Times puzzle, and he would put an LP on, and his partner made these shelves, okay, and they went all along the basement wall. They must have been about 10 of them, and they were elongated, so the 45s were loose, okay, but in rows. So, and I think they were by label. So he says to me, I said, well, what do you want for the 45s here? He says, well, there's a lot here. I mean, I want to sell them in batches of 100. I said, batches of 100? I was, well, how much? He says, well, I want $1 a piece. So you can, and I'll give you a little break. You can take 125. I think it was like 125 or something like that. So what was I doing? I had to go up on a ladder on the ones that were on the top. So I just started, and I made a mistake because I should have really bought them all. I should have cut them a deal and bought all of them. There might have been maybe, I don't know, 6,000 or something there possibly. But they were most of them were in nice shape, and they were records like that. So they were all in these sleeves. So, and I think he told me Rich Rosen was going to, well, he had other stuff in the closet, okay? So I'm like, well, what do you got in the closet? He goes, you can't go in the closet. I said, no, I can't go in the closet. I says, okay. So one day, and I was going there after work. I was working in White Plains for Container Transport International. It was a dry car. It was my first job. It was like 1981 or 82. So it was snowing one night. So I go there. And my mother's like, you're not home yet? Like you're wrapped around some pole or something, whatever, because I didn't call her. They didn't have cell phones back then. So anyway, he brings out, I think, what is that record, Magic by the True Tones? Yeah, it brings out Magic by the True Tones. He brings out, I think the Persuaders on Winley. And he brings out one other record. I forget. There were 3 records. He wanted $35 for them. I says, okay, it's a deal. $35 for. I think it was 11 Roses by the Crows. Those of you that know my Saturday night show. So for $35, I got a deal. But anyway, let us continue. That's and that record too. So I was going up there every week, actually a few days a week, and just filling my trunk up with records. That's how I got a lot of my early stuff here. You wonder why Johnny G's got so many records. I'm working on how many, L.A. Arch? 270, 200,000, 200.73, I don't know. But let us continue here, and let's fill this request. This was another big, this record also voted by quite a few of you. Let me see how many. Okay, this one was, again, this is not a Christmas record, okay? Casey Hines, Malcolm Baumgart, Tommy Albergo, George Chestnut, and Sal Nuzzo voted for this one. And these are the Shells, okay? And people use this as a holiday record, although, I mean, you can argue, came out in October of 1962. Maybe, but that's like Halloween time. It's not Christmas time. And this great group out of Brooklyn, New York, they're called the Shirelles. It's their 7 of 9 on Hiram Johnson's Johnson record label, and it features Roy Jones on lead. And this is a Wayne Sterling was involved with this record heavily, okay? And Frank Gingaro is going to be writing another Wayne Sterling Part 5, I think, in the upcoming magazine that he's writing for. But this is from October 62. Let's give a listen to the Shirelles on Johnson Records, a big song played on Gus Gossard's show in the early 70s. It's called It's, in parentheses, Happy Holiday. The Shirelles. Merry Christmas, everybody. Here you go. There you go with the sound of the Shirelles here. The Shirelles there, Roy Jones on lead. That record made an impression on your host, Johnny G, when I first heard it on the Gus Gossard show. And I have a white promo of that record, too. It's not that easy to find on the promo, folks. But those are the Shirelles there. Roy Jones on lead. Came out in October of 1962 on Johnson Records. It's a happy holiday is what it is. I hope everybody has a happy holiday. Johnny G's got to be careful around this time of year because I got to be careful of my A1C. Okay, that's got to be. And that was good the last time I went for my checkup. But, when you're overweight for so many years, you got to worry about type 2 diabetes. It's a problem. It is. But not to divulge my problems. But let us continue here. So anyway, Tootsie Schmutzie in our YouTube chat room, she emailed Johnny G because she wanted to request some Christmas songs. And I know many of you that emailed Johnny G, you search songs that you like, and they're available on CDs or available on YouTube and whatnot. And you really don't know if they're issued on 45s. Many of you that send me the songs, I look for them on YouTube and I double check. Charlene does it too. And she sent me the first few emails she sent me. They were off of LPs or CDs that were released later. And sometimes compilation LPs that Columbia or Capitol would put out or whatever. So she came back one more try, and she said, well, how about this one? And I said, well, let me check my Ken Klee book and see if I have it. And I look, and lo and behold, I have this record. So I told her, I said, look, this is very difficult because I don't have many Peggy Lees up here within my group harmony stuff. but I have them because I collect the Capitol record labels. So I said, okay, so let me look. And I don't know if I emailed you back, Tootsie, or not, but I found the record. I found the record because my mother found it. Well, when I gave her a whole box of Capitals, she put them in order, and I ended up looking in the box, and lo and behold, it saves me a lot of time. And I'm thinking about it, Don. Not that I want to file my 45s by label, but I think I'm going to file my 78s by label. That might be the better way to do it because I have much less as far as 78s go. So there you go. My Johnny G's light bulb is going off. But this is a request for Tootsie Schmutzie in our YouTube chat room. Hold on a second. As I mess up here, I didn't type it in right. I want to look in the paper here, so I'm going to type it. It's easier. I think this is like November of 1962, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She's got a lot of records, of course, and I had a whole bunch. She recorded for Decca. She recorded for Capitol Records. And this is from 1960. Peggy Lee, okay? And I remember hearing, well, I used to hear this record around Christmas time. So we're going to play it for Tootsie Schmutzie here. This is on Capitol, 47, I'm looking for it here, 424744, November 1960. Yes. 4/4. This comes with a picture sleeve, too, by the way. Okay. And I don't even know if this was the A side of the record, but listen, some people ranked this a 10. Released in November of 1960. It's Peggy Lee on the Capitol record label. It's called and Johnny G used to like this too. I Like a Sleigh Ride, parentheses, Jingle Bells, going out to Tootsie Schmutzie. This is Peggy Lee. Here you go, Peggy Lee, for you, Tootsie.
I like the sleigh ride. 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 Jingle bells, jingle all the way. I like the sleigh ride. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. I like the sleigh ride. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. I like the sleigh ride. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. I like the sleigh ride. Dashing through the snow. One-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go. Laughing all the way. I like the sleigh ride. Bells on bobtail ring. Making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight. I like a sleigh ride. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. I like the sleigh ride. I like the sleigh ride. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. I like the sleigh ride.
Okay, there you go. That one there going out to Tootsie Schmutzie in our YouTube chat room. That's the sound of Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee, I Like to Sleigh Ride is the name of the tune. Came out in November, of 1960 on the Capitol record label. There you go. So I did find it, and a really nice copy, I'm telling you. They used to call me, their mouths used to water. Johnny G's buying all my Capitol stuff, and of course it was everything on the label. So that's how I ended up with some really great records too in Johnny G's collection. Let us continue here. Let's fill a request now for listener Gary Hendren in Alabama. We're going to go from kind of like pop Christmas to blues Christmas. I wasn't sure I had this record, Gary, when you emailed me, but I did. I bought this record from Barry Soltz from November of 1953. And you know we have been featuring blues here on the 50s show, and also I feature blues here on the soul show. This is normally my soul show, but we're mixing it with 1950s and 1960s and even some early 70s Christmas tunes here. But this one dates back to November of 1953. This is Lightnin' Hopkins on the Decca record label. Let's give a listen to his rendition of the tune. Well, it's called, actually, did he write this? Maybe it's not. I don't know who wrote this. I didn't see. Charlene doesn't have any notes here, so I can't really give you a detail thing, not on everything. But it's called Merry Christmas. This is by request for Gary Hendren in Alabama. Gary, thank you so much for your kind email. This is Lightnin' Hopkins. Here you go, folks. Blues on the Wednesday show.
Merry Christmas now, baby. Now, darling, ain't you glad to be home? Merry Christmas now, baby. Darling, ain't you glad to be home? Yeah, we're gonna take our Christmas for ourselves, so we'll know there is nothing wrong. Hang up your stocking. Oh, Santa Claus gonna come to you. Hang up your stocking, do you know? Oh, Santa Claus gonna come to you. I'm gonna buy you something, put it and let him bring. Tell me what else is you gonna do? Is you gonna do? I know you're gonna be sweet, darling. Come round with them long bills hanging on his face. Oh, Santa Claus come round, oh Lord, with them long bills hanging on his face. You ain't right waiting on my little woman. She coming home on Christmas Day.
Whoa, the copyright. Why would the copyright police be out on that tune? Don't ask me why, but they are out there. They came out and coming after Johnny G. That's why you got to click those hearts as they do that. But there you go. That one there going out to Gary Hendren in Alabama. We got the blues here. Although we're not in the blues mind, we got to be in a happy state of mind. November 1953 on the Decca record banner. Merry Christmas is the name of the tune. That one there going out to Gary Hendren. Let us continue here. And I had a chance to buy this record again. It was the only, I think it was the only, I don't want to say the only known, but it was a red vinyl copy of this record. So it was in Greg's collection, so I had the opportunity to buy it. I probably could have whittled it down to $4,000, but not at that early stage of looking through his collection. But I could have bought this record on red vinyl for $5,000, but I decided not to do it. And maybe I should have, but I didn't. Sometimes Johnny G makes a couple of mistakes. I do, but this got a lot of votes also. As you go back to the this group called the Hepsters, okay, yeah, this got a lot. Okay, a lot of my Saturday night viewers here. Tommy Albergo, Chris Reed, Joseph Smith, Bob Cruz in Maryland, Julian McCroy, and Sal Nuzzo, and voted for this group. And they're out of Cleveland, Ohio, but it's on a Chicago label. It's called the Ronell record label is the name of it, is the name of the label. And both sides of the disc are great in my opinion, but it's the group's first of two on the Ronell label, and this is actually the easier one of the two. But this is a Christmas side. It's the lead singer of the group, his name is Joe Williams, came out in November of 1955. Let's give a listen to the Hepsters. I have this on a promo, the Hepsters on Ronell. It's called Rockin' and Rollin' with Santa Claus. Here you go, the Hepsters.
It was the night before Christmas. Everyone was quiet as a mouse.
You gotta be rock and rollin', rock and rollin', rock and rollin' with Santa Claus. It was the night before Christmas. Everybody was quiet as a mouse. Rock and rollin', you gotta be rock and rollin'. Up jumped Santa Claus and he started rockin' the house. Rock and rollin', you gotta be rock and rollin', rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus. All the gates were filled with glee, rockin' under the Christmas tree. The old man with his whiskers came on strong and kept the joint jumping all night long, rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus. Old Saint Nick, he's the last word. He traded his reindeer for a Thunderbird. He traded his boots for some dancing shoes so he could rock to the low-down blues, rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus. Old Saint Nick, he's a helping man. He traded his jingle bells for a swing band, rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus.
Little boy blue, blow your horn. Rhythm and blues, get the call.
Little boy blue, come blow your horn. Rhythm and blues, forget the corn. Play it sweet, play it slow, play it high, play it low. Rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus. Rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus. Rockin' and rollin' with Santa Claus.
Yeah, can you tell that Johnny G likes that tune? I do. I think that's a swinging tune. If I was a DJ back in 1955, I would play that record. I would. There you go. The Hepsters, November 1955. That's on the Ronell record label. It's called Rockin' and Rollin' with Santa Claus. That's Joe Williams on lead. Now, their second release is much harder. Okay, it's called I Gotta Sing the Blues, which I have featured on the Saturday Night Show. Remember, get Johnny G your requests at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That is the contact number to send me your requests or anything else. So many nice emails that I have received by the listeners. So thank you all. I hope you're enjoying the show, this kind of ad hoc show here. So here we go. I got my M listing here. So I'm going to, someone, Charlene, you got to write them down as they say them because I can't scroll back up. Okay, but you could, some of you that know, you'll know what the records are. So you can ask me if just say, well, play that one, Johnny, or play that one. You'll kind of know the song. I got the Marcells, okay. I got the Marquis on Warner Brothers. I got the Marchands on Johnson. I got the Marshall Brothers on Savoy. That's a great tune. I got Marvin and the Chirps on the Tip Top label. That was a big voter. I got the Martells on the Bella label. I have the Masters on the J&T label, which I think is a gospel song, if I'm not mistaken, from the 70s. I got, and this is, I don't know, this New Orleans, I think this is a Louisiana record, Tony Matina on the Lenore label. I have Nathaniel Mayer on the Fortune record label, not Federal. I have the Miracles on the Tamla label. I have Marvin and Johnny on the Aladdin label. I have Oscar McLally on the Modern label. I have this Lisa Miller, which I think is a Northern Soul thing, on Canterbury. I have Mitch Miller and the Gang on Columbia 33 1/3, and I have Bob Morrison on the Capitol record label. So what should we play first? Let's see. We have who chimed in first? It looks like Reed King. Reed King has the Marquis, and then we got, so wait a minute here. Who's in there? We got the Marshall Brothers for Reed. We have the Vodka. No, I don't know if Charlene's got this, Timbo. The Ivar Shiva. I thought you would want your Mitch Miller request. We got Reed also wants we got to pick one, Reed. Marvin and the Chirps. We got the Big Dave wants the Marshall Brothers. Let's see. Nathaniel Mayer for Reed. Reed wants all the M's. We got Marvin and Johnny for Oldies Fan. Okay, we got we got Nat King Cole. Well, wait, I'm not in the M's there. Tip Top. What's that? Tip Top Records? Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go with Reed. Reed said he wanted the Marquis. You said the Marquis on Warner Brothers, right, Reed? Okay. So we'll do that. Reed wants to go to the Congo, okay? Because that's what this record is. Okay. Right? The Marquis? Well, wait a minute. Well, listen, they voted for Christmas in the Congo. I don't think the flip side got a vote. Santa done got hip. Okay, so which one did I play on the show, Charlene, before? Where's my M notes? Here we go. Oscar McLally, the Miracles, Marvin and Johnny, Milburn, the Mills Brothers. No, I didn't find that record. Miracles, Moonglows, Marchands, Martells. No, she doesn't have the write-up on it. Actually, both sides got voted for. Okay, from November 59. I know, neither one. I thought I played this Marquis before, but that's okay. Charlene had too much to do. Let's see which one got the higher votes. JKL Marquis. So we got, well, actually, both of these sides. So, Graylin, that's you. Graylin in our chat room voted for this record. So which side, Graylin, is the best one? Christmas in the Congo first? We'll do that. Okay, November 1959 on the Warner Brothers record label. And It's the big sound of Don Rauch, I think is what it's called. Marvin and the Chirps. Bill wants that too. Okay, we'll put that one on too. So here we go. The Marquis. This is from 1959. It's called Christmas in the Congo. The Marquis. Here you go.
Merry Christmas!
In the jungle with the pygmy tribe. Hugga, hugga, boo boo, hugga, hugga, bee. We decorate on the Christmas tree. Our Santas are coming, they'll soon be in sight. That must be why the natives are restless tonight. Now, hugga, hugga, boo boo, hugga, hugga, boo. And hush to wait for Santa Claus. Send message, dear Santa Claus. We've been very good boys. Send us pygmies on. Six blow guns, firework canoes, 4 picture tubes, 3 golf carts, 2 Cadillac, and a TV dinner for 2. Christmas in the jungle, everybody come. Join little pygmies, having lots of fun.
There you go. That one there going out to Graylin, also to Reed King in our YouTube chat. Copyright Police are out on that 45 for some reason there. So let's flip the 45 over because they also requested the flip side here. And this tune, let's see, it's Bob. The writers on this one are Bob Sherman, Andrew Fisher, and Dick Sherman. These are the Marquis. This one here, what did I say, November of 1959. Santa Done Got Hip is the flip side here. So let's see what this sounds like here. I just don't remember it. So here you go for Reed. Hold on, folks. For Reed and Graylin, the Marquis with a Q, Marquees. Here we go.
This is Santa Claus, he done got hip, riding around in his rocket ship. 6 jet engines and an overdrive, and you can hear him zooming coming across the sky. If you've been good like I know you should, Santa this year's gonna treat you good. But don't you try none of your lame tricks, cause this year's Santa, he's done got hip. No more that's west on Nick. Oh, Nick this year, he's done got hip. Now put down his reindeer and put down his sled, and Rudolph's home with a cold and dead. All you little jitterbugs, you better beware. Hip, 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 you better cool it for the rest of the year. Cause Santa knows when you're doing wrong. You better cool it till the year's gone.
Okay, folks, those the novelty Christmas tunes here for Christmas Eve on the Vinyltreasure Show with Johnny G. That's by request for Reed King and also for Graylin in our YouTube chat room. Those are the marquees, November 1959. I forget, they got, they got 3 or 4 releases on the Warner Brothers label. Santa Done Got Hip. And prior to that, we heard Christmas in the Congo. And as we continue here, thank you all for being here, taking time out of your maybe busy or not so busy Christmas Eve. I hope you are enjoying it with your families, or will tomorrow. And Barbara and I we decided not to exchange gifts on Christmas, although she did stop in. She's got to come back on Saturday. Maybe I can get her to file some records. Maybe. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But anyway, so let's do a comparison. It was Bill Obe that gave me the idea for this. So I have the Sweet Inspirations up next, but the song was originally done by William Bell. Let me see what the original release date was. So we're going to the Stax label now. B, Johnny, where is your B's here? M's, this is H, well, here. Okay, William Bell did the, let's see, William Bell, I rewrote this too, here we go. So William Bell recorded this initially in November of 1967, okay? He wrote the tune together with Booker T. Jones, okay? Now, of course, William Bell, I'm going to play them back to back so you can vote on which one you like better, okay? William Bell was originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and he was a member of a group called the Del Rios. They got a rare record on the Meteor record label, Lone Rainy Night, I think is the name of it, if I lose my mind. But in 1961, he signed with Stax Records, and he would record with Stax, and this was his 13th release on Stax. Now, his real name was William Yarborough, but, you know, I think he would get drafted, and he disappeared for 4 years, and they continued to issue his records, though, and then he came back, and he continued to record. But this originally came out in November of 1967, and who requested the William Bell one? The Bell was requested by... Here we go, by Chris Reed and Ed Brown. And then I'm going to play the version first, though, as done by the Sweet Inspirations. Okay, and this is, the Sweet Inspirations was a request for Malcolm Baumgart. So we're going to play that first, and then that's the cover, then we're going to play the original. And the Sweet Inspirations version, that one came out in, should be on the same page here as the, and Charlene is there, probably didn't just put the date here. I'm just looking for the release date. I don't see it here. No, this is looking at C. That's why you don't see it, Johnny. The Sweet Inspirations release came out in what? I think it would have to be Sweet Inspirations. See, they're not in any kind of order, so it's like kind of crazy for me. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, they did it in March of 1969. So we're going to play them back to back, and you can vote on them. This one first for Malcolm Baumgart in our YouTube chat room. March 69, the Sweet Inspirations on the Atlantic label. It's called Every Day Will Be Like a Holiday. Here you go. Then we'll follow it up by the William Bell right after back to back. Here we go.
Every day will be like a holiday. When my baby, when my baby comes home. Now he's been gone for such a long time. just about noon. He said, don't worry, baby, I'll be home soon. Every day will be like a holiday. When my baby comes home. He said not to worry, don't sit by the phone. Soon I'll be home, baby, you'll never be alone. I expect to see him sometime today. I know my baby never going away. Every day will be like a holiday. When my baby, when my baby comes home. Every day, yes it will. It's gonna be a holiday. My baby's coming. I know he is.
Every day will be like a holiday when my baby comes home. Now she's been gone for such a long time. Ever since she's been gone, she's been on my mind. I got a letter today, just about noon. She said, don't worry, I'll be home soon. And every day will be like a holiday. Oh, I know it will. When my baby comes home. I'll never have to worry about sitting by the phone. When she gets here, I'll never be alone. She said she'd get here sometime today. I know when she gets here, she'll never go away. And every day, oh yeah, will be like a holiday. Oh, yes it will. When my baby comes home. Oh, every day will be like a holiday. Oh, yes it will. When my baby, oh yeah, when my baby comes home.
Okay, folks, so there you go. Rate the records here. Which one did you prefer? Did you like the 1969 release by the Sweet Inspirations with Sissy Houston on lead, or did you like the original version? I know Bill Olb likes the original version of that tune. And listen, they're both good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I would buy both. I would buy both copies as far as Johnny G is concerned. But anyway, they're great two sides there. But maybe they like the original just a little bit better as we continue here. But great sides there. by the great tune. And again, you're correct, Big Dave Swinger. That is another non-holiday record. So listen, that's okay. You know, it's so what? It's a little bit off, but it could be, okay? It could be. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. If you are new to this program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. We got Copyright Police out again. See, they're going to be out. And listen, because my mother wants to watch Midnight Mass, so I got to be out of here by midnight, folks. And again, many of you, I'm sure, going to be with family tomorrow, or maybe not. But anyway, but I'm going to be there. We're probably going to play that card game again. Barbara was telling me she's learning how to play poker. So I said, "You're learning how to play poker?" I said, "But you don't have a poker face." So she says, "Well, they tell me when I play canasta, I have a poker face." I said, "Well, I don't know about that." Anyway, let us continue here. Going to ask all you Northern Soulers that listen to the Vinyltreasure show about this next record here. And tell me what you think about it. If I could find my M's. Because I don't know. Yeah, okay. Her name is Lisa Miller, okay? So let's see if any of you people know about this record, because this was a record I picked up for $1. Charlene, where is Lisa Miller? I thought I saw it on here. Lisa Miller. Where is it, Charlene? It was here. I saw the write-up. Is it under L? You got it under L? Bear with me, folks, because I saw it here. H. Where the... This is M. Hold on, folks. Let me go to the details here. L, here, L, Lisa Miller. Is it here? Find. No, it's not in this. Where is it? Little Lisa? Charlene, where is this record? Miller. It's under Miller. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, folks. It's under the M. Why the... What am I looking under L for, Johnny, you fool? Saw it here. Miracles, Martels. God. I'm sorry, folks. Right in front of my eyes. You know, I have to have my cataract surgery soon because it's really bothering me. And I want to thank many of you that have been communicating with me as far as you getting your cataract surgeries. But anyway, this gal first recorded as Little Lisa on the VIP record label back in 1965. She's also the daughter of Kay Lewis of the Lewis sisters, who recorded and wrote for the Motown record label. And this is her release on Ken Handler's Canterbury record label out of Los Angeles, California. And this would come out, I think this is on Mala too. This would get picked up by Mala Records, if I'm not mistaken. It's from December of 1967. So you Northern Soul collectors or those listening in the UK, tell me if this is one of those songs. Lisa Miller on Canterbury. It's called Loneliest Christmas Tree. Lisa Miller. Here you go.
If I had a star
tinsel and lights so bright. And when Santa came, I was quite a sight. What's happening? Why are you taking me away? I thought I was here to stay.
Okay, there you go. Now, listen, I didn't know that Malcolm Baumgart points out that she was the voice of Sergio Mendes in Brazil '66. Really? She was one of. Is she the one that sang like "Fool on a Hill"? Is that her? Well, anyway, her name is Lisa Miller, and I have it on the Canterbury record label. I paid $0.25 for the record. I don't know what it goes for now, but it was released in December of 1967. Canterbury Records' Loneliest Christmas Tree is the name of the tune. Well, hopefully you're not lonely tonight. If you're all alone, you don't have to be. You can be with Johnny G here on a Christmas Eve, as I was contemplating not doing this show. But, and I was, because Amy gave me some ideas, but I just didn't have time to do it. Because I have like garland and stuff. I was gonna decorate in the back. I was gonna put like Christmas stuff in the back. That's something I got to think about. I got to think about the studio here. Maybe I should put like a lounge chair in the back. I got to get rid of some of this stuff. I just don't have time to do it. Not yet. Maybe we will. But let us continue here. Let's go back to that Phil Spector EP. Okay, because I did get a bunch of requests late for another song on this LP. Now, Bobby Soxx and the Blue Jeans, of course, Darlene Love, I think, she was the lead on that. But the guy does the, Bobby Sheen, I think, is doing the lead on this. Because he was the male voice of Bobby B. Soxx and the Blue Jeans. And this was originally out on that A Christmas Gift for You LP, and then they put it out on the EP a year later. And let me just see the voting on this one. This was voted on Bobby B. Soxx and the Blue Jeans. It was email today, but from Wayne Thompson and Ivar Shiva. You requested this, too. So are you into the Phil Spector Wall of Sound, too? Which is interesting. But anyway, let's give it a spin here. This really 63 recorded, but it was released in November of 64 on the EP. And it was kind of like a weird, like it looked like a giant ornament with information on there. Just wrote like, this, you'll enjoy this EP or whatever. But anyway, it's called The Bells. It's called... The Bells of St. Mary. This is on the Phyllis record label. We got to get to The Bells of St. Mary by the Drifters, too. But this is Bobby B. Soxx and the Blue Jeans. Here you go for Ivar Shiva and Wayne Thompson. Here you go. There you go. There with the. I dropped the. Was there a anybody here a drop in the stream, like a dropout and it came back? Because I lost my connection to Oldies and More with that, is what happened with that, I think. So anyway, but I don't know what causes that. And you know, it messes me up because KKSM out in the college out there, Palomar College, they take my MP3 of the show, and I have to connect it, and it's a pain in the neck is what it is. But there you go, the Bells of St. Mary, as done by Bobby B. Soxx and the Blue Jeans. And that's with Bobby Sheen on lead there, the male voice of the group. Darlene Love, a member of that group also, originally from November of '63, came out on the EP. The other parts of the EP also were requested, although Winter Wonderland is on a 45 by Darlene Love, which is one of the alternate flip sides of Christmas Baby Please Come Home, which is Johnny G's favorite Christmas tune, by the way. But I don't see this one, Charlene, on the sheet. Augie Rios. We got to play this for our Spanish listeners in our YouTube chat room. As I found this record out in the wild. I used to hear this all the time on the Christmas, during Christmas time. They would play this all the time. But the record originally came out in November of 1958. So this record is as old as your host, Johnny G. Okay? And I wish I had more information on this guy. His name is Augie Rios, at least his age. Okay? I'm just saying, it doesn't, I'm looking at 45 Cat, it doesn't, well, there's a picture of him, which is, it's interesting, because who is this? Is this a Cashbox magazine in November put a big ad in, it says the Big Jackpot Christmas Record, Augie Rios, it says the singing, that's correct, Big Dave. It says the singing sensation of the Broadway music. Wait a minute. The Broadway musical. I can't even see it. It starts with a J. It says Donde está Santa Claus? Parentheses. Where is Santa Claus? It's on the Metro label, which is I think they MGM used this as new talent. To find new talent, and they put it out on this label, Metro Records, like the Dreamgirls are on this label, and some other, Sam Fletcher and some other people, which I have, because I collect this label too. And I guess it says Old Fatso is probably the flip side there. But anyway, this is a request for Adrian Viterbo, and somebody else did last minute request this. Augie Rios is his name. Augie Rios by, actually, it was Adrian Viterbo, Tommy Albergo, Amy King, and Optimo Economist. Optimo Economist, thank you for your email too, by the way. Thank you for that. Received first-time emails from many of my listeners here, so I want to thank everybody. I hope you're enjoying the show. It's a little bit ad hoc here because I just pulled 300 Christmas records. I'm trying to play, songs that you people would like to hear. But anyway, we're going to fill this one out for those listeners that I mentioned. This is Augie Rios. And the song is called did I say my Spanish right? My Spanish is not good. It's called Donde Está Santa Claus is the name of the tune. Augie Rios. Here you go.
Mamacita. ¿Dónde está Santa Claus? ¿Dónde está Santa Claus? And the toys that he will leave. Mamacita. Oh, where is Santa Claus? I look for him because it's Christmas Eve.
There you go. That is Augie Rios there. Augie Rios, Copyright Police are out. They're out early because Johnny G started early again. So we need subscribers. Quickly subscribe to Johnny G's Vinyltreasure show and give me the thumbs up because that'll keep them away. It'll give me more time, it will. But that is Augie Rios, Don't Esta Santa Claus. Johnny G's not good in my Spanish. You know, I did take Italian. I can't speak it that well. I took Italian in high school. Of course, we didn't speak. My father is a native Italian, but we never spoke Italian in the house. We always spoke English, and he's pretty good with the English. Okay, I remember my next door neighbor, Mr. Spino. He was, not that I'm making fun of it because I'm not, but they would put an A at the Johnny. Don't you do that? Don't go there. It was like putting A's at the end. I was like, Mr. Spino, I said, why are you putting, vowels at the end of the words? But that's how he spoke. And he had a great fedora is what he had. This is my Christmas fedora. Anyway, but let's stay with the Spanish theme, okay? And I always thought this record, for some reason, came out in 1968, but it did not. Okay, this record... And I liked this record a lot. I remember when I used to work, when I used to be on that other station where they fired me from the other station, there was it was really nice, Ramtown Mike. Around this time, he would ask for his listeners to send in their top 5 Christmas songs. Or was it top 10? I forget. And he would count them down. On Christmas Day, I think, or either Christmas Eve or whatever. And I would always vote for this song. It wasn't my number one. Darlene Love was my number one song. But I like this song a lot. And we're going to send it out to all the Spanish listeners and all the listeners here because I like this record. And it's actually, I just like it. I like Jose Feliciano. And this one came out in 1970, November of 1970, on the RCA record label, and I have a yellow promo of it. I wonder if the Copyright Police are going to get me for it. But anyway, it's Jose Feliciano, and the song is called Feliz Navidad. This is Jose Feliciano from November 1970. Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
There you go, the sound of Jose Feliciano here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I like that record, I do. It brings back a lot of memories from the early 1970s. They would play that every year, and I just like the record. I think it's a cool record to dance to, I think, really. So I just like it there. Actually, Amy King requested that tune there, and we'll send it out to all our Spanish-speaking listeners here to the Vinyl Treasure Show. Thank you all for really, Merry Christmas to all of you listeners here. Thank you so much for making this really. This is one of the so many listeners have come on board to this program within this last year, and it only continues to grow, and I have to thank everybody for that, because you drive, well, Johnny G is only the conduit, if you want to think of me as a conduit. But anyway, I have the records. I mean, that you gotta have the records is what you have to do. And I'm still buying records. I still am doing that, and I dabble in that a little bit more. And I haven't for a while, but I've gotten a little bit back into it. It's not as addicting as it used to be, because being a record collector can be very addicting. It's easy to drop and drag an MP3 or to play. I'm telling you, I've heard on some of the shows, and not that I have the time to listen to any shows, but I do put them on from time to time, and they're not even playing the original versions of the records. So, I mean, and I'm not really condemning them, but maybe they just don't know. And a lot of the record companies, when they would reissue or put out, compilation reissues, they were not even picking the original one. Now, say it. Okay, all right, say these are alternate takes. I mean, as you know, the Relic series, of course, but Don knew all the alternate takes when they would put out those Relic series, which a lot of people are listening to too, by the way. And that's like the best thing if you can't find these records, but it takes a long time to collect records and to amass a collection. It's a lifetime of collecting, and I'm telling you, it's just mind-boggling, all the records that are out there and the music that is available. And things are being found each day, too, by the way. But anyway, I digress. Let us continue here. This group got lots of votes here for this record. It came out in December of 1963. The group is called The Uniques. Let's see, who voted for this one? The Uniques. This is the ballad side. It's Steve Cargman in Arizona. He is in our YouTube chat room. Braden McCallow, Bob Cruz in Maryland, and new listener to the program. Wait, let me see if it goes beyond that. No. Well, and actually, I have here, Steve, you want to send this one out. I have a special note by this record for Steve. I do, for you. And Steve, you were so nice. My mom always says, how is Steve doing? So thank you, so nice. People that email Johnny G, Adrian, also always greet my parents. It's very nice of you to do that. They're touched by that. But Steve in Arizona, Braden McCall. I had a phone call with Braden. He called me the other day. Bob Cruz in Maryland, Sal Nuzzo, and Steve wants to send this tune out to Maxie, Bally, and Armadillo, okay? And this is a cool record, too. This group is called The Uniques. They are out of Massachusetts. It's their first of two on a label called Demand, which would get picked up by Dot Records. Now, this comes on cool-looking green vinyl, which I don't have. Greg had it there. I should have picked it out of his collection. And there's actually a picture sleeve that comes with this. I don't think it's a picture of the group, though. But I like this tune from December 63. They're the Uniques on Demand Records. It's called Merry Christmas, Darling, parentheses, and a Happy New Year, too. These are the Uniques. Here we go, folks. The Uniques.
Let's stay together, always, as we are tonight. Merry Christmas, darling, and a Happy New Year, too. I am so happy just being here with you. So I give you my present. I love you.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, gee, listen, the copyright police, get out of my hair. They are back here. But anyway, that is a great record. I like that tune also. December 1963, that's on a label called Demand Records. They're called the Uniques. Merry Christmas, Darling, and it's in parentheses, and a Happy New Year, too. And that is a cool tune. And one of their other records that I like, it goes Times Change, I think, is that the other? No, it's not the other side of this record. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Wednesday. Thank you all, as we hope you are enjoying Christmas Eve together. I want to thank Don Folletti. I'm so proud to have Don a listener to my show. We want to say happy Merry Christmas to him and his sister tuned into the program. I know many of you, Bill Obe is tuned in tonight. Many of you are tuned in. Others have obligations with family. Something's cooking downstairs. What is my mother's cooking sausage? I smell it. It's making me hungry. But anyway, let's get an instrumental in here. This was a Booker T and the MGs come in. There were a lot of votes for this one here. Let me get my B's. B. Where's my B folder here? Here we go. Booker T and the MGs here. Actually, 4 songs by them. A lot of people voted for their tunes here. Yeah, this one. And I forget when I opened the show. Well, it had to be one of the years I opened up the Vinyltreasure show with this instrumental. Let me just see who voted for this one. I think Busta Bass was the first. Yeah, 6 people did. Well, actually, it was wait, on this one was, Charles Ellis, Ed Brown, Busta Bass, Graylin, Joseph Smith, and Ben Warfield requested this tune by Booker T and the MGs. okay, led by keyboardist Booker T. Jones. Okay, this was the group's 11th of 24 releases for the Stax label from November of 1966 on Stax. This is Booker T and the MGs. Let's give a listen to their rendition of the tune, Jingle Bells, here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Here we go.